All right, here we are, day 6. Got another fun one in store, primarily lower body, but it's gonna be a good one. So a few new stretches for you. We're gonna start off what's called a king squat. I'm sorry, a bootstrapper. We're gonna start with bootstrappers. So we're gonna get our feet in a nice squat stance. And then from here, we're just gonna hinge at the hips, kind of like a good morning. Reach over, grab your toes, and then try to straighten your legs out the best you can. And now we're gonna drop our hips down into the bottom of the squat. Let those arms be inside of your knees. Keep your fingers under your toes. We're gonna drive those knees out and try to get a tall chest in the bottom of that squat. And then we're gonna shoot those hips straight up. Do our best to straighten out those legs. And then come back down into the bottom of that squat. Again, weight in our heels. The arms are pushing those knees out. Back up, hips. Get a good stretch there and then drop back down. Driving those knees out. Think tall chest. If you find a focal point in front of you, if you look straight down, you'll tend to chest that falls forward. Hips up. Lock the legs out if you can. Back down. Hips back up. Stretch the hamstring. And back down into that squat. All right, hips up. And last time down. Good. All right, stand straight up, shake it out. Now we're gonna do what's called a king squat. So this is basically everything that we typically tell you not to do in a squat, but we're gonna break it down into different pieces. So we're gonna, again, have our feet in that squat stance. We're gonna hinge at the hips, nice flat back, all right? Don't just round over. We're going to that good morning. Get a good stretch there. And we're gonna drop the hips into the bottom of a squat. From here, shoot those hips back up, get into that good morning position, and then stand back up. All right, nice controlled movement, don't rush this. We're just trying to find the stretching point of each one. So good morning. Hold that for a couple seconds, and then drop your hips. Chest is gonna come up into the bottom of the squat. Hang out there for just a second. Shoot those hips back up. Hang out here and stand. Extend those hips all the way. Get a little stretch of the hip flexor there. And then back into that good morning. So my hips are kind of going back. Again, I'm keeping this nice flat back. Chest gets to as close to parallel to the ground as possible. And then I'm gonna drop back into that squat, thinking tall chest, deep hips. Back to the good morning. And stand. All right, last one. Good morning. Bottom of the squat. Hips up, good morning. And stand. All right. Next up is gonna be a sumo squat. So we're gonna get a little bit wider than normal. And then we're gonna go down into the bottom, and we're really gonna focus on driving our knees out and dropping our hips, keeping our chest as tall as we can. So all the way down. Again, I'm gonna take my elbows, press out against my knees, and just kind of sink into the stretch, letting those knees drive out over my toes. Breathing, thinking about driving my belly button forward to keep that back nice and tight. Don't be rounded over in this one. We want to keep that tall chest. Might feel some tension in your hip flexor, some stretching in the groin. Just trying to get as upright as we can in the bottom of that squat. sure you're breathing. We're just gonna keep going deeper and deeper into this stretch. You can inch your elbows down your legs to intensify that press out if need be. Weight should be in your heels. All right, we're gonna slowly come out of this. If you need to catch yourself out front, take it up nice and easy. Might feel some tightness in your hip flexor. Kind of stretch that out. Rock it out. All right, now we're gonna get nice and wide, and then we're gonna drop our right hip over our right knee, keeping our arms out in front. We're gonna see a tall chest, getting that Cossack squat or lateral lunge, whatever you wanna call it. So we're gonna drop over. This squat. And then we're gonna come up and do the same thing on the other side. I am definitely tight today. Good. Come up, go to the other side. And over to the other side. Struggling on this side today. Good. And come back to the middle. Stand up, drive your hips forward, stretching out the hip flexor and groin. Excellent. So next we're gonna do an inchworm and a pike. So for the inchworm, we want to keep our legs as straight as we can. If you need to go wide stance for that, that's okay. However, you can take your hands to the ground, inch it out. We're gonna go into a plank. And then from here, we're gonna shoot our hips up and head through, pressing into the ground, and then driving our head between our arms, getting a good stretch of the shoulders. Also drive your heels to the ground and stretch out your calves. And then back to plank. And then we're gonna inch those hands back in. Stand. And then back down, inch it out to the plank. And then hips up, head through, heels down. Press your palms into the ground and really drive that head through, keeping those shoulders good and active. And back to plank, and inch it back in. Again, keeping those legs straight on that inch out and inch in. All right, back out, plank, and then final pike. Back to plank. Inch it in, and stand. All right. Very nice. You guys made it through day 6. We've got one more day to go, so be sure to come back tomorrow for our final day of 7 days of stretching. It's been a joy. Can't wait to close it out with you tomorrow. See you then.